up, guys? This is the Minister of Beauty, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. Now, today I wanted to talk about Eva Marcille and whatever her new last name is, and that is not shade. I just honestly don't really remember. And her issue, it seems like, with women who are older than she is. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. I'm not going to make this episode a very long episode, but I actually am one of those people that I am indifferent towards Eva. There's a lot of people who can't stand her. And then, of course, she has people that really love her, and that's cool too. I am indifferent. I just don't really care that much. I'm not a fan or a foe, but I do pick up some things that she says that's just not really cool. And being a woman of a certain age, which, I mean, I'm only 41, I know what it is when people are trying to throw shade at someone's age, because she's been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta right now for about 3 seasons. First season, she was a friend of the show. And then the next 2 seasons, which is the one that she's currently on right now, she is a cast member. She's actually holding a peach. But it's just been very apparent that she has issues with age, and it's just based on the things that she said herself. It's not something that I'm not grasping at straws. I'm not trying to make an issue out of it, but I just see it because she's called out Marlo Hampton, which Marlo Hampton is not that much older than she is. I believe Eva says she's 35 maybe, and Marlo is she's in her 40s, so she's not that much older than Eva is. And then, of course, she's called out Nene Leakes and her age. They're currently going back and forth in a little feud, and I'm going to play some clips of some things that Eva has said very recently and some things that she said in some previous seasons of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, just to let you know where I'm coming from when I say that I believe she has an issue with women who are older.
When I'm in love, girl, I want to scream it from the rooftop.
Yeah.
I want to post about it.
Yes.
I want to tell my friends about it. But with him and how fast we are moving, it's hard for me to tell people where we are.
I'm telling you, after 4 months, I knew that Mike was the one. And so I would say for you and Dennis, do what works for you in your time. You know what I mean? You have some people like Nene who may have been married for 20 years, and you have people like Marlo who's 42 who's never been married. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't know any other 42-year-old unmarried people besides Marlo?
No, I know.
You're a little shady, bud.
No, I'm just saying.
But how are you and Marlo? Were y'all vibing at all?
Marlo's a lot. Maybe I didn't realize how high maintenance Marlo was, because she was like, you take this room, I'm gonna have your room because this is the room you deserve. Like, this is more me.
You definitely don't need this. This is too much for you.
Girl, but I just kind of felt like a little bit of a way. Like, I like the finer things too, but I am from the hood.
I mean, I didn't realize that Eva really had any issue with Marlo. Maybe Eva is another flip-flopper. Hey, Cynthia number 2.
Down in Miami, I saw you vibing with Cynthia.
That was great, because we didn't get off on the right foot.
With Cynthia, right?
And me and her, like, really clicked in Miami.
I like the little model competition. That's cute.
What I love is that it is what it is. I'm 33, she's 51.
Excuse me.
She been doing this thing for a long time.
She gonna come up there and show you some things.
Yeah. Come on up here, Miss Bailey, honey. Come off the lake onto the runway. Show us a veteran walk.
Another veteran walk.
Yeah, show us how they used to do it. The bird on the street is I do Bailey moves.
Oh.
She's the mother.
Oh, stop it.
You respect mother, but mother is still mother.
Leave mother alone.
We love mother.
First and foremost, I was not in Greece because I was pregnant. Now, Nene, who's 55, doesn't remember maybe being pregnant because that was 20 years ago for her. But I'm a 35-year-old woman with my family and beautiful husband, and I'm continuing to make a family.
Okay, guys, so those are just a few clips, and I am, again, not here to drag anybody, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on why I feel like Eva may have a problem with women who are older than her. And when I say she has a problem with, I don't mean that she takes issue with people who are older, but it almost comes across as she feels like women who are older is a sign of weakness. But even though I feel that sometimes Nene can be a little bit toxic, she can definitely, say one thing and do something else and just really be in her feelings. I mean, we know that because Nene's been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta from the very first season. And I know, guys, I'm not one of those people that am, doing the Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews. That's just not what I do. But I've watched the show from the very first season, and even though I'm not a religious watcher of it anymore, I do catch up on some of the episodes here and there, and I definitely do watch some people who do regular reviews, and I appreciate that because sometimes that helps me to catch up on things when I haven't been able to actually watch the show myself. But yeah, Nene's been there from the very beginning, and as her star has began to grow and shine, she definitely has an ego that has grown as well. That's just the truth. It's not an opinion, it's the truth, because she would declare it all the time when she would say stuff like, the thing that I'm seeing a lot more of when it comes to Eva is that the age thing, she goes there. And that's just something that I feel that as women we have to be very careful with, because to grow older really is a gift. You are graced to be able to be older. So when she comes for someone's age, it's almost as if she sees that as a sign of weakness. I don't know if she has an issue with growing older and she sees it as something that she's a little bit afraid of, or she feels that, youth and being younger is an advantage over people that are older than her. And while I agree that there may be some things that may not be appropriate for people who are older to do, things just kind of change over time. And so it's not like it was in the 70s and 80s when you would see someone who was in their 50s wearing a certain type of clothing versus the women who are in their 50s now. Just things change over time. So when she made comments about Cynthia Bailey's age, and she made comments about Marlo Hampton's age, and she made comments, of course, about Nene Leakes' age, it just made her look like she is someone who has issues with women that are older. I don't know if there's a phrase or a term for it, guys. You can let me know in the comment section if there is some type of definition or phrase for people who have issues with age. I don't know if it's ageism or an ageist or an age hater. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I don't know if there is something, but it's just what comes out of her mouth that reveals how she really feels. And guys, I've said on a number of occasions that out of your heart, you speak it. Whatever's in your heart, it's eventually going to come out of your mouth. And that's why you have to learn how to control your tongue and how to just control what comes out of your mouth, because we had that trait as children. We would just say whatever was on our mind, whatever was on our heart, it would come out. And then our parents would have to tame us and train us what to say and what not to say. And it was more so to avoid hurting people's feelings. And so that's why I feel that Eva will tend to backpedal, and when she's confronted about something, she will say, no, that's definitely not true. Or she will say, well, that's not the way I meant it. But when she came out and asked Nene to be the person that would give the speech at her wedding, Nene really is the one that brought her on the show. No, I'm not saying Nene is a producer of the show and she makes those decisions, but with the Real Housewives shows, they do have a way of how they introduce new people to the program, and it's usually through a so-called friend, and sometimes the friendships are real, sometimes they're not. But clearly they did not have a real friendship, because here's the thing, when you have a genuine friendship with people and you have a falling out, when you have a genuine friendship, now this is what I'm saying, and you have a falling out, you may get upset and you may get pissed off, and when somebody brings up that person, you might say some things that are not so nice about them, but you will rarely share their secrets, one, or two, you're not going to really hit below the belt where it involves things that are superficial, like looks and things like that. I mean, you might make a little joke like, oh yeah, I can't, I don't speak to her anymore with her with her big forehead, or, you know, with her crooked teeth or whatever, like just trying to make light out of and make fun of the person that you're no longer speaking to, because in some way, some shape or form, it just kind of makes you feel a little bit better for the moment. But I'm telling you, the way Eva was calling out Nene for her plastic surgery procedures and the filters that she's claiming that she uses for her images on social media, and her age, and you know, when she said how her face is, you know, this is a different canvas than what Nene has. I mean, obviously we know you guys do not look alike. You're not the same people. We get it. Nene has, you know, tendencies to get under my skin too when she just gets out of pocket and things like that every now and then. But Nene makes me laugh. I really did like her the very first couple of seasons, and then there were times where she just became, to me, her actions became obnoxious, and then there were times when it was just plain shocking. Like, really, girl, you're really doing that right now? But I digress. This podcast isn't about that. I may do another episode to just kind of go into those details, but this really is about the age thing with Eva. It is something that annoys me. I can remember when I went to school for aesthetics many years ago. And at the time when I went to school for aesthetics, I was actually the only one in the class that was my age. I was the oldest one in my class. And there was this chick who was in the class with me. She was probably about 15 years younger than I was at the time. I don't remember exactly how old she was, but she may have been about maybe 15, 16 years younger than I was. Okay, cool, whatever. I was already an established entrepreneur and continuing my education, doing what I need to do for me. I didn't come there to think about what anyone else was doing, and I could care less about what anyone was thinking about me. And you guys know, or you may not know, aesthetics is what is the outer appearance. When you are an esthetician, you are enhancing your client's outer appearance. So aesthetics is extremely important. Now, this chick who liked to try to come for me and my age, you know, making little snarky comments every now and then and making little remarks, just trying to be funny. I was actually the only African American in my class. She was not. And her skin was horrible. And to top it off, she was also a smoker. Now, when you guys smoke, or if you know someone who smokes, it actually robs your skin of oxygen, which your skin really, really needs. And so not only did her skin look really rough, she looked older than I did. So she, you know, would make little comments every now and then, just trying to be funny. And every now and then I would just like laugh it off. And I don't remember what it was, but one day she said something and I just had to put her in her place. And it was just a really, really quick, I won't even call it a read. It was just a really quick check, just to let her know, like, bitch, you look older than I do. So do you really want to go there with the age? And it shut her up, because it doesn't really matter how old someone is. When you're taking care of yourself and you are, you know, paying attention to the details and you're doing the things that you need to do for yourself and you're living your life the best way you know how, who cares how old you are? When you are graced and gifted to grow older and be an older age, that is a blessing. So I don't even know why somebody would try to come for someone because they are older than they are. It's really stupid. It's really ridiculous. I don't know, again, if Eva, to a 100% certainty, has an issue with women that are older than her. So I'm not saying that that is a fact, but I'm saying that from the statements that she has made, it comes across that way. And so I don't know if she realizes it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's made a comment about it or has made statements about it or even maybe made videos or podcasts about it. But I just really wanted to speak on it, especially from this last instance where this read, we'll call it, that Eva put out there to just kind of go at Nene and just let her know. And I understand that when you get upset, especially with these Real Housewives, oh my God, especially the Atlanta franchise, when they feel like somebody is coming for their check, when they feel like somebody is coming for their residuals, when they feel like someone is coming for their businesses or whatever, then that's when they really come hard and go in. So sometimes I feel like they need to rename the show to The Real Entrepreneurs of Atlanta instead of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, because let's face it, none of them are housewives for the most part. They're all pretty much working. They have businesses. They have different things that they're working on to bring in money. They're not housewives that are sitting at home and allowing their husbands or their men to take care of them. And that's cool. That's great. So yeah, let's call it The Real Entrepreneurs of Atlanta. Yeah, so Nene, she did an interview, which is not uncommon. And this is one of the things that I have, where I was saying that sometimes Nene does things that get under my skin. This is one of the things that she does that it's like cringeworthy, and it's like, oh man, really? Why are you doing that? But she does have a tendency when she is upset with one of these ladies or she's mad or whatever, then she will do interviews and she will try to come for someone. And sometimes it's in ways that's not really cool, where it's like, oh, you know, they're really not bringing anything to the show. They don't really have a good storyline. I don't think we need them. We should bring back the OGs. And granted, it's like, really, girl? You will say that when you're upset, and then you will say that you think that they should bring back Kim Zolciak, which she calls Kim Zolciak a racist. She called her, you know, so many different things. And Sheree Whitfield, Phaedra, like these are all people that she had it out with at some point. But because she's upset with Eva right now she's saying that Eva needs to go. She doesn't think Eva's bringing anything to the show. They didn't even remember she was there, because when they were in Greece, and they didn't remember anything about her until she FaceTimed to speak to Cynthia and the other ladies. And another thing too is I do believe that Nene is definitely territorial when it comes to her friendships, and she's a little bit, I won't say jealous, but feeling some sort of way that Nene isn't close to Cynthia anymore, and she isn't really friends with Eva anymore, but now Eva and Cynthia are really close, and so she doesn't really like that. So yeah, there probably was some feelings involved when Nene did that interview. So because she did that interview, Eva really was clapping back. So let's just make that known. Eva was not just coming out of the clear blue sky talking about Nene and her appearance and her age. That's not what she did. She definitely was responding to the interview that Nene did, where she was pretty much saying that, in not those exact words, but that Bravo should get rid of Eva and bring some other people back to the show. So of course Eva didn't like that, because nobody wants someone to try to come for their livelihood. And this is a large portion of Eva's livelihood. So there's really no need for that. But Nene does stuff like that. This is not her first rodeo when it has come to trying to see someone get offed, to get the guillotine and to be removed from the Housewives franchise. She is that type of person, and she has done that. Let's just be honest. And you guys know it, and if you know what I'm talking about, you can leave a comment about it in the comment section. But I just don't feel that as a woman who is graced to have a husband and children, you are not 21 anymore. You are not the girl who just won America's Next Top Model. You were blessed with that opportunity, and from that opportunity, you were able to receive other opportunities. You still look great for your age, okay? She still looks great. And I don't even like to say for her age, but she still looks great in spite of her age. Awesome. Maybe you didn't have to have any work done. Okay, cool. Some people don't, some people do. Some people don't need the work and they still decide to get things done because it's just something that they decide to do. But for Eva to come for people's age the way that she has, it makes it look as if she has an issue with women who are older, and she feels that being younger is an advantage. It really isn't in everything. So we just have to be really careful when it comes to stuff like that. So I want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comment section. Do you feel that Eva has a problem when it comes to women's age? Does she feel that being younger gives her an advantage? Or do you feel that it's not really that way and it's just being looked at the wrong way? And do you feel that Nene has a reason to feel the way that she feels? I do feel that Nene may be a little bit butthurt because she did give the chance to Eva to be on the show, to give her the opportunity to become a housewife, and she may have just kind of felt a little bit slighted or used in some way. But no, I'm not saying Nene is 100% innocent. Her hands are completely clean, but just let me know how you feel about it in the comment section, guys. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. This is the Minister of Beauty, and thank you so much for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And guys, until the next episode, I hope you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.